Somehow, I think I may get this out by Sunday, guys. I may actually. I'm way late on this one, on this What If Series tournament. But it's such a massive, important, huge, gigantic, very crucial tournament at this stage of the What If Series. This is probably, up until this point, the most important What If Series tournament, at least in GX for sure. It's the first King of Games tournament since Dark Side of Dimensions, I think. And now it becomes more than just about the students. So after let's do the ending for Vampire Reign first, because I promised it would be included with the intro here. So in the ending, of course, Count Sheridan has been utterly defeated. He was defeated by Queen Victoria, and his soul was sent to a place you don't want to know. But anyway, Queen Victoria was responsible for that. He deserved it, and now Camula's and Tia's souls were put with his. So now we know that there's only one or two vampires around, and that would be Sadina. And by the way, Joey turned back somehow, but Sadina did not. And Brenda's already a vampire. Brenda and Sadina are the only two vampires now. Joey turned back. So, problem here. When you remember that deal Kaiba made with Count Sheridan? Well, once this ended, Kaiba was going to be approached. They came into his office, but the Chancellor was not there. He decided to leave really fast and put his personal... He said this guy was a teacher all along and just happens to be the leader of the cult of this tournament, Society of Light. So he puts Schmaden Schmooky in control. As we've talked about for many weeks, Schmaden Schmooky. He is the leader of the Society of Light. He is very ruthless, but also very caring, seemingly, like a true cult leader would be. And anyway, so Kaiba X is missing in action. He's left, kind of like Shepard did at the beginning of Season 2. Remember, he left up until Zane beat him at the temple, then he came back for the Gen X tournament. Or the GX tournament. So, now we're in present time. The vampires have been defeated. Novo, honestly, it's because of Novo. He did defeat Sadina in the final. That was extremely close. I was so scared Novo was going to lose that, but he somehow pulled it off against a top-level duelist in Sadina. Maybe, debatably, the best student in the academy, maybe. I'm talking about duel-wise. So anyway, let's start with Society of Light. There are 26 instead of 25 this time because Schmaden Schmooky is the boss. Schmaden Schmooky's the boss, which makes it one extra. So let's get started. The first 5, which would be Lego's 5. Sadina Blitz. After being freed from the vampiric hold that was controlling him, Sadina has been working to readjust now that he is stuck as a vampire for the foreseeable future. He's noticed the odd cult-like behavior of the Society of Light, and as such is going to do his best to save as many people as possible from its hold. Alright, Sadina. Sadina realistically definitely can win this tournament. Everyone's probably bringing their big boys, their big guns, to win this thing. Lego, the current King of Games. He's going to have a tall order to retain that title. Lee has one main goal in this tournament. Making sure he can use his Millennium Necklace to guide the world to a future where the Society of Light does not succeed. He knows he has a decent chance of losing his title of King of Games in this tournament, but doesn't mind because holding this role was never a goal of his. I don't know what's wrong with me. Sorry. It was never a goal of his. He ended up with it out of pure happenstance and is ready to hand it off to a more worthy champion if he must, especially since he's discovered a new possible side activity to keep himself busy: mentoring. He's glad he managed to at least bring some hope to new young duelists, such as Novo, in their times of need. and has begun to consider taking the boy in to help him. He's noticed Novo is extremely skilled, but his deck building may need work. Yes. He certainly does. He certainly does. And he puts Polly in his deck full of ritual beasts that contact fuse. That just tells you what kind of deck builder he is. Luckily, Lee has plenty of experience with that. Yeah, Lee's a good deck builder, so this will be good. Truly Rivera. I have not seen him in a little while. Truly was approached by Bastion and told about how the light could make him feel more worthy of power. Naturally. I had to add in Bastion's quote there. And strengthen his resolve and doubts. The spirit of Tripper Mercury managed to get Truly to not give in to the light willingly. However, Bastion defeated him in a duel and forced him to join the Society of Light himself. Bastion defeated somebody? No, this Bastion in this and What If series is a little bit better than Bastion from GX. Helena Schneider. She finally has a last name, does she? The menace that we all know has a last name to put to her. Helena and her fiancé, Wilhelm, are officially married now, and as such, she's taken on his name. However, that's the least of her worries, since she's noticed Justice's odd behavior. Not only that, but she knows this tournament determines the next king of games. She's gotten extremely close to winning one of these tournaments before. Yes, she was, very. And has since been practicing for her next chance. After spending a lot of time in the European Pro League with Wilhelm, Helena finally feels she is ready to take another shot at becoming number one. And of course, she has to make time to smack some sense into Justice as well, which she feels may be becoming a common occurrence to smack up Justice. Smack him! Okay, first new character, and here he is on the screen. Wilhelm Schneider, the heir to the wealthy Schneider Corporation, which profits off creating various games. Reminds me of Schroeder Corporation. Wilhelm has a love of all games and enjoys finding ways to solve different challenges. Helena's father, Cash, set Wilhelm up with Helena in an arranged marriage in order to profit off of the family's wealth. Helena originally had zero intention of actually following through with the marriage. However, she realized she found Wilhelm extremely charming and sweet, so decided she was willing to go with it as well. Wilhelm has traveled here to meet his wife's friends and get a shot at becoming king of games. How old is this kid? He looks 17, 18 maybe? He's got that 18-year-old gothic emo, a nihilistic look going on. Okay, Legos 5. Now, Serenity Spider Monkeys 5, which I had a little bit of trouble getting Marion Fender because it's complicated. The Master Duel. I know, why you gotta go make things so complicated, Master Duel. They made it so complicated. I went to her deck and then for no reason it copied over it with Amber Blaze's deck. Anyway, Zach Rathrug. Zach is fuming after being dodged by Casey. Dodged? Defeated. Zach, why does it say dodged? I copied it verbatim. I copied completely everything. After being defeated by Casey, and swears he's gonna get a girlfriend sooner or later. His sister still bullies him and calls him a loser, refusing to acknowledge his accomplishment of defeating a powerful dual spirit like Elf Valkyria. Well, I mean, he did beat her. Gotta give him something at least. Everyone's gotta have something, right? Marion Fender, and the girl I had so much trouble with in setting up for this tournament. I like her, the corn maze girl. I remember her. Marion is tagging along with her friends Jane and Ashton to escape from her boring life. Wait, isn't Jane and Ashton the same person? Isn't that her last name? I don't know. Jane and Ashton. I'm just going to read it as it says because I copied it. To escape from her boring life and all the people who make... Wait. I don't think Jane and Ashton is right. I think you mixed up the first and last names of the same person. I'm gonna just say just leave it like that for now. I'm not sure what you meant. I copied it, so that's what I copied. Maybe it messed up. Anyway, okay, let's start again. Marion is tagging along with her friends to escape from her boring life and all the people who make her sick, trying to convince someone on the island to let her convert the forest on Academy Island into a corn maze. But no one will go with her idea. Well, I mean, why not? We allow amusement parks here. To her annoyance, she runs into Jenny, Serenity, and the Kawais, who are still looking for Yuma, but doesn't offer to help. Rhea makes fun of her and gets locked in the Raw Girl's bathroom. Ouch. Amber Blaze. Haven't not seen her in a while either. The one with Chaz's GX manga deck. Amber. What? Yeah, you even put in parentheses for me to say it right. I think I've said ombre before. Amber wants James to come back with her. That's James Westaway, the guy we haven't seen in centuries, and make videos about video games like they used to on their Green Couch Gamer show. She's willing to lose herself to the light again if it means getting him back. Dang. And Jane Ashton, by the way, has the exact same lore as Amber. So, and now James Westaway. We have not had him in forever. I have not seen him since DM. Westaway sees his friends on the island and struggles within himself with wanting to save them with the power of his illuminated deck, or help them take down the one responsible for his and Amber's brainwashing. Familiar possessed Lena asks him to remain true to his heart and not what the light wants. But, you must go with the light. I'm just kidding. Anyway, she's eager to help him seek help. She's eager for him to seek help from the duelist with her sister's cards. 3 of whom are on the island right now. Serenity Wheeler, Casey Kawai, and Lexi Kawai. Whoops, went too far there. Alright, that's the 5 of Serenity. Now the 5 of Jammy Jams. Miku. Miku is happy that Lee is here. She's ready to help him fight off the Society of Light, but she is a little worried because Justice is now a member, of course. Of course, he's been a member longer than almost any other member. The cult's only a couple months old at this point. She is also hoping to help Lee stay king of games. Maybe after they can go on another date. Why not? You're with the king of games. A date should be an honor for you. Professor Nedrick. Oh gosh, the OP professor. Professor Nedrick thinks this is the best time to study how far Justice will truly go in his duels. He has seen how ruthless his off-screen duels have been. Yeah, he's converted a crapload of people to the light, kind of like Chaz did in Season 2 at the beginning. He's converting people like Chaz did when Chaz was converted, and wonders if he would actually hurt the ones he cares about. He sure hopes so. Now for Justice. Justice has been dueling a lot of people, getting ready for the Light's attack on the island. Well, complete brainwashing's more like it. But his dueling has been intense and blinding and kinda cruel. He has injured a lot of duelists without showing any remorse. He is now fully ready to serve Schmaden, even if it means taking out his friends. All hail the light. All hail the light. I need a drink of water. Angelica. Angelica is kind of mad that Justice isn't working for her instead of his... What? Okay, let's start again. Angelica is kind of mad that Justice isn't working for her. Instead, his own sister is making plans to change that. But for that, she's gonna need some help. She remembers Justice talking about a girl who was sent to the Shadow Realm long ago, and asks Yubel to help get her out. Way back from Duelist Kingdom, huh? She does, and she gives her a deck, and that girl is willing to help Angelica all of a sudden just for freeing her. I can't believe it. And this is not a new character, but he insisted this girl get brought back. Insisted. After this is Firestarter. Remember her from when she got banished to the Shadow Realm in Duelist Kingdom by Max Pegasus? After sitting alone in the Shadow Realm for so long, a girl and a dark spirit helped her out. A girl and a dark spirit helped her out of the Shadow Realm. What? How are you wording things, Jamie Gems? Firestarter accepted the deck the girl gave her only if she helps her get revenge on a certain person who put her there. Her first job is to take out the Society of Light. Now, you may remember Mitchell wanted to use Firestarter as a cover for Alice Uriel, I believe, right? And then it just eventually merged into Alice Uriel. But now I have to retcon it because Jamie Gems wants it to be like she was truly sent to the Shadow Realm and she wasn't, someone who is undercover. That's fine with me. I mean, there can be two different lores to it. That's what makes it so much fun. We can do any lore we want. That's the most fun. Now, second new character. Dr. Benjamin Doofenshmirtz. And this is also the first Mitchell Slaughter character. Benjamin Doofenshmirtz. A scientist who works for the Soul Hauser Corporation, which is a company originally founded to explore the mysteries of the world. Not all the company's employees are on the straight and narrow, You get it, what I mean? Wink, wink. As it were. Dr. Doof is a bit crazy. He does look a bit crazy. And Franz Gruber is obsessed with cryptids and aliens. Yeah, we saw that by his deck. Doof is also an inventor and has come to Duel Academy Island to work in the Soul Hauser lab located in the forest on the southeastern part of the island. He has brought a machine he calls the Cloninator with him. On the way to the lab, he finds the Preakness sisters asleep under a tree and plucks hairs from their heads, placing said hairs in the Cloninator. Ooh. Second new character from Mitchell Slaughter, Margaret Mutton. Interesting. Where is she from? I've seen this girl before. Using the hairs he took from Agatha and Shikanoko. I need to say it right. Shikanoko. Dr. Bendoof created a clone of the two, but altering her to be a sheep girl. Let me guess, she uses a sheep deck. She has to. And I could see it now. It's probably the one that's like a fusion material type. Mystical She number 1 and 2 probably are in there, and scapegoats and sheep tokens. Oh yeah. Instead of a horse girl or deer girl, Margaret, or Meg for short, quickly realized Doof was crazy and left the lab. She found Shmooky, but noticed he was insane as well and dodged him entirely. Well, I mean, you're one of the very rare ones that can dodge him, probably because you're a reject experiment. She then found the Preakness sisters, but was chased off by Angelica. She then joined some others who were coming to fight Schmaiden's evil cult. Well, her lores are good. Hold on, I need some more water. I need some more water. Hold up. I also need a cookie. I got my case of waters down here. I always keep them over here, just in case. I don't want to walk all the way to the kitchen and use my Pure Hire. Okay. Next. Ezekiel Zeno. He was approached by Darius Brago during the Shadow Riders' invasion of the island, and Darius asked him to go to the temple at the volcano and eliminate the monks. The monks are at the volcano? Ezekiel refused because his stepbrother Zachary Bell is one of the said monks. After the Shadow Riders disappeared, Ezekiel was approached by Schmaiden Shmooky and how many times? Take a shot every time I say his name. And left with him. Schmaiden promised Ezekiel the monks would be safe from the Society of Light if he joined the society. Ooh. Nimona Penny. Or Nimona Penny. She noticed Ezekiel Zeno walking off with Schmaden Schmooky. How many times did we say Schmaden Schmooky? Schmaden Schmooky. Okay, as Ezekiel is her boyfriend, they've been hanging out together at the amusement park during all these tournaments. She doesn't trust the weird-looking wacko he's with. Nimona is joined by a sheep girl as she chases after them. Marinette Breeze, we haven't seen her in a while, but I love her deck. It's really cool. I do love it, Mitchell Slaughter. It's a cool deck. Marinette has become worried for the safety of her daughters, her husband, and the Breeze Corp factory. There were Shadow Riders, then vampires, and now an evil cult. Typical day in Yu-Gi-Oh! World and What If series. Typical day. This is nothing, actually. The monks are dealing with a big loss of their own, and Manon is with Andre inside the factory. So Marinette has decided to take matters into her own hands. She joins up with Nimona Penny, and a sheep girl while traveling in the woods. Now we get to my 5. Or technically 6 if we're counting the big boss, Schmaden Schmooky. Kebachet, you better believe I'm bringing some of my best to try to win the King of Games title, guys. You've gone nuts if you think I'm not going to try my best to get the title. We're all trying our best here. Kebachet wishes to become Queen of Games, but okay if she doesn't. She just likes hanging out with her friends, but becoming Queen of Games would bring her some final solace so she could break away from her dead father's evil past. She doesn't like being connected with her father after the events of Pyramidalite. Yeah, she just wants to have fun with her new friends at the academy and make them proud. Simple lore for Kebachet. She's a good girl. There's nothing really inherently bad about her. She just happened to have an ancient Egyptian past and she's thousands of years old. You know, typical teenage stuff. Noon Scepter. Yes, I haven't had him in a little bit, but I think I premiered his Glad Beast deck before the crash of Master Duel and before we brought it back. Noon Scepter, the guy who can't remember or doesn't know who he is. Still not quite sure of who he is. His memory even seems to be getting worse too, with his mentality seemingly unstable. Will he be a danger to the academy? The answer is yes, because Schmaden, the Light's leader, Schmaden Schmooky, brings him into the society easily. Easily. Novo Young, the most recent champion and new student at Duel Academy fresh off the boat. Yes, after winning the tournament, he was placed in Obelisk Blue immediately for saving the academy. He was even given compliments by Zane Truesdell, and even Lee Go came up to him, which he cared much more about. He respects Zane, but his idol's Lee Go. So trying to pull off any fanboy duelist dream scenario. Get to duel his idol, Lee Go, for the King of Games title. That's what he wishes. It's basically what Leon got against Yugi or the Pharaoh. Has nothing but respect and awe of all the other duelists, except those he knows are corrupted by the light. The only reason he knows so well about the light, he knew about the appearance of light before he even reached the island. His dual spirit sensed them a while back, before they arrived at the academy. So on the boat ride there, they could sense it. Now, next new character, second to last new character, Schmaden Schmooky. The big boss, the big boy. This is it. Oh my gosh. Hold on, they're weed eating or something. Give it a second. Go away, go away. I'm busy. Hold on. I'm waiting for the weed eater guy to pass. Go away. Please. Pretty please. I'm in the middle of a crucial lore. Guess we're waiting. Need a drink of water. Okay, let me try now. Shmaden Shmooky, for the billionth time saying his name. The leader of the cult Society of Light. Finally, we get to meet him in person. He is very charismatic and charming, but when dueling, he plays all sorts of mind games on you, which make him very intimidating. The only duelist who has even been close to defeating him was Justice. But right before the final blow Justice could deal to him, Shmaden corrupted his mind to make him surrender and surrender to the light. Has since had Justice defeat droves of duelists to convert them. Seeks to consume the entire academy by the end of this tournament. Of course, they plan to win it. Upset, Michael Uriel somehow escaped his clutches. He has many, many, many ways of convincing and diluting people's minds to doing exactly what he wishes. He has no concern about human morals. As long as it is to satisfy the light, that's all that matters. And this leads me to the overall plot. You're probably wondering, how did the light get here? Is it the same plot as season 2 of GX? Yes, essentially it's the evil alien force, the light. Yes, it's taken over. Now, no, hold on. It's taken over all the duelists, but you're probably wondering, Shmaden. Is Shmaden even a real person? Well, he's actually an alien. I'm just going to be honest with you. I was going to save it for later, but just to lay out the whole plot lore, he's an alien. He's not even a true person. So just remember this. And now I know we've had aliens, so that's not a shock. Especially from Mitchell Slaughter, I think, has had a bunch of aliens, and Jamie Gems did too. Had a couple, or one. Anya's an alien, right? And Miku. Miku's like from space. Anyway. But she's not actually an alien. Okay. That's Shmaden Shmooky. Yes, the new Arcana Force cards do work, if you're asking. Yes, they do. Trust me. They work. The divination card from the thumbnail works. A couple of the others work. The new monsters work. The sun, Arcana Force the Sun is kind of OP, actually. I made sure to watch that and keep that card in check. It's kind of strong. So, it's very easy to summon. And that leads me to the 25th duelist and the final new character. A guy I personally have wanted to add a long time. Boop. This is SOB. S.O.B. SOB is his name. No one actually knows his real name. This is his, how should I say, doctoral name. This is his PhD name, the one on his PhD. Okay, SOB. The Society of Light's personal psychologist and top-level undefeated duelist. Claims to know how everyone ticks and intentionally pushes his patients' buttons during every therapy session. Any therapy session, he pushes their buttons on purpose. Particularly is interested in messing with Ligo and Miku for some reason. He says it gives him the greatest joy seeing them struggle. Seems to have known Ligo when they were kids, or so he claims. See, we don't know if this guy lies or tells the truth on anything. He's so obsessed with joy and creating his own joy and messing with certain people that he's a doctor who's probably mentally very unfit to be a doctor. But of course he's a Society of Light's doctor, so what are you going to do? Anyway, that is SOB, 25th duelist, and I've been wanting to add him for a while. Of course, his avatar is Shoma Shinonome from Cardfight Vanguard G. What the? Oh yeah, that was it. What am I doing? That was it. That was the only last new character. And then the last character of the tournament, Zane Truesdale, number 26. Zane doesn't like the idea of a wacko cult trying to take over his turf that he feels like he owns. Especially since, he beat back the Shadow Riders. The Academy's best student steps up to demolish any unfortunate Society of Light member who walks by. He's already taken out hundreds of them. Already defeated Society of Light Bastion off screen, who also defeated Truly, I believe. Truly Rivera. But then after that, he defeats Society of Light Bastion and converts him back, or brings him back from the light. I know. Bastion's irrelevant again in this lore, even here. Anyway, so there's your 26 duelists for this tournament. The winner will be the King of Games at the end. The winner will be the new King of Games, and this is the biggest tournament we probably had in GX. Not as big as Reshef or, Waking the Dragons or anything like that. But we're here. We've done it. And I do hope you guys enjoy. Remember to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. The channel is AimsAnimanga, and I will see you for the tournament. Bye-bye.